Alright, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Alright, so untuk hari ini, first of all, I have to apologize because we cannot do a live mid session. Okay, so untuk hari ini, Madam bagi recorded video untuk perbincangan set 3. So for these objective questions, you have completed, you have done this over the last weekend. So Madam pun dah tanya for some questions that we need to discuss, and you have already told me which question yang you nak Madam discuss. So here we are today. So for this objective question set 3, I can see most of you are improving, even though mungkin ada yang improve just a little, tapi as long as you are improving, we still have time. So kena push lah sekarang ni, push forward, buat lebih banyak latihan untuk kita score better dalam kita punya PSPM nanti. So for set 3, now kita bincang dulu section A lah. So for section A, we have question number 6 here. So for question number 6 here, we are given the function of fx, and then it says here, by using the definition, determine f prime 3. So here's the thing. Kita sekarang ni buat soalan objektif, betul tak? So walaupun soalan ni bagi tahu kita perlu buat ni menggunakan definition, but do we really have to do that? Not really lah, sebab kita tak perlu tunjuk workings kan, kita nak buat objective question. So as in you can just ignore this definition ni yang dia cakap, and then kita buat the quicker way lah, which is for fx here, when we differentiate, so kalau kita tukar yang ni jadi power 1/2, so our f prime x here directly akan dapat 1/2 and then x plus 1, power 1/2 minus 1, so that will become negative 1/2. So negative 1/2 kat sini, lepas tu darab 1 kan, so tak perlu 1 is just here lah, tak perlu tulis pun tak apa. And then we want f prime of 3. So for f prime of 3, 1/2, and then we have 3 plus 1 to the power of negative half. So maksudnya kita ada kat sini 1/2, and then here 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 to the power of negative half, dia adalah 1/2. So kalau you tekan calculator, you akan dapat 1/2 because 1/, square root of 4. So directly kita dapat jawapan kat sini 1/4. So terus dapat jawapan 1/4. So yang ni cara untuk kita jawab soalan objektif lah. Kita terus dapat jawapan A. But katakanlah soalan ni, walaupun menjurus kepada jawapan, tapi let's say dia minta kita tunjuk step by step. Maybe dia adalah multiple choice question lah. Dia bagi 1, 2, 3, 4 step, and then awak kena susun. So kita tengok kalau definition ni, macam mana kita nak buat adalah, fx tak ada nilai, cari dulu fa. So for our fa, ataupun in this question lah, kita nak buat f3 kan. So f of 3, kalau kita gantikan nilai f of 3 here, so f of 3 is equals to set 3 plus 1, which is equals to square root of 4, which is equals to 2. Jadi kita gantikan pada definition ni, so f prime 3, kita akan ada limit x approaching 3, for fx, fx adalah set x plus 1, and then minus 2, minus f of a, so minus 2 over with x minus a, so a kita adalah 3. So dapat bentuk macam ni, and then we can see that we cannot directly use direct substitution. Kalau kita buat direct substitution, kat sini kita akan dapat IDF. So kena buat conjugate. So conjugate kita akan ambil nilai yang ada set kat sini. So x plus 1 plus 2 kat sini. So over with set x plus 1 and then plus 2. So darab dengan this conjugate. Simplify, try to simplify. So kita akan dapat on the numerator, that is going to be x plus 1 minus 4 Okay, minus 4. Denominator kita akan dapat, okay, for the denominator, we'll try to put this in this form. Tak perlu expand. Okay, so x plus 1, then plus 2. Okay, so yang ni yang kita ada. Right, so untuk numerator ni dapat x minus 3, right? Okay, so x minus 3. So we will have limit x approaching 3. Plus ke minus? Minus. So x minus 3 here. Okay, and then over with this same term for denominator. Kita tak simplify lagi. So set x plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so we can simplify this x minus 3 dengan x minus 3. So when we substitute, okay, to substitute the value of the limit. Okay, so kalau kita proceed kat sini, that is going to be equals to 1 over with set 3 plus 1. Okay, and then plus 2. Okay, so automatic kat sini kita akan dapat jawapan 1 over 4. And the answer should be the same lah as what we did earlier. Okay, so yang ni Madam tunjuk balik dekat awak macam mana step by step lah untuk kita solve menggunakan definition for differentiability. Okay, menggunakan limit lah for this question. Okay, so again, I repeat, kalau soalan kita adalah soalan objektif, seolah-olah kita just boleh abaikan definition yang dia bagi ni, buat je cara macam biasa, terus buat f prime x and then gantikan nilai 3 kat sini. Automatic terus you dapat jawapan 1 over 4. So lebih cepat lah as compared to kita list satu-satu menggunakan this limit. Okay, so that is for question number 6. Okay, now look at question number 7. Okay, so for question number 7 here, okay, dia bagi tahu let kx is log x is 5 and x is greater than 1. Okay, so determine which of the following is true about the graph. Okay, so graph untuk this one, apa yang betul, apa yang salah. So we'll take a look at this one. For our graph here, dia cakap domain is 1 infinity. Okay, kejap. Okay, so sorry, this one is for section B, question number 7, section B. Kejap No, okay, Madam pindah ke bawah lah, nanti confuse. Okay, this one is section B. Okay, kita buat dulu soalan number 8 for section A. Okay, so this question we're given y equals to x to the power of ln x by using the log differentiation, evaluate dy dx when given value x and y. Okay, so whatever it is, kena buat dy dx lah, kena dapatkan dy dx. So dekat sini, okay, kalau kita nak terus differentiate d dx, it doesn't really work like that lah untuk this one. Tak boleh terus buat d dx for this question. Okay, so the first step for this one adalah, okay, kita ada y x to the power of ln x. So kita take ln dulu for both side untuk kita simplify kita punya equation ni. So ln y, this one ln of x to the power of ln x. Okay, and then kalau kita menggunakan properties of ln, we can say that kita boleh pindahkan power ni ke depan. So kita ada ln x, okay, darab dengan ln x, right? And then that will become ln x square over here. Ln x all squared. Okay, so barulah kita differentiate untuk kita nak dapatkan dy dx. So we're gonna perform d dx of ln y and that equal to d dx of this ln x squared. Okay, so differentiate left hand side, differentiate ln y, kita akan dapat 1 over y. Okay, kita buat implicit dy dx. Okay, right side ni pula kita akan dapat 2. Okay, and then salin balik this one. So by using power rule, so 2 ln x, lepas tu darab dengan 1 per x. Okay, so yang ni tak boleh simplify ya, x dengan 1 over x kat sini. Okay, so now kita nak dy dx. Okay, so everything on the right side ni darab je dengan y kan. So kalau Madam nak terus simplify kat sini, so dy dx, we have y darab dengan 2 ln x darab dengan 1 over x. Okay, and then because you are given this value of x and y, we'll just substitute this value lah. So we have 1 times with 2 ln 2 and then times with 1 over 2. So 2 dengan 2 ni boleh simplify. So jawapan untuk dy dx kita adalah ln 2 dekat sini. Okay, so this is our answer. Our answer is B. Okay, so jawapan terus dapat ln 2. Okay, so that is for section A. Mary rasa section A tak banyak sangatlah soalan yang perlu dibincangkan because yang lain-lain tu is not that difficult. Okay, so boleh try buat sendiri. Kalau ada masalah boleh try tengok merit. Okay, tengok yang set 3 lah. Okay, tengok video soalan yang berkaitan dengan yang awak nak cari itulah kalau yang awak tak faham. Okay, so next part kita tengok part section B. Okay, so Mary nak bincang soalan number 4 first. Okay, so we want to try to find the interval. Okay, sekejap so take a look at the function first. So kita ada quadratic function. Okay, yang kita nak selesaikan. Okay, so quadratic function, quadratic inequalities yang kita nak selesaikan. So kena simplify dululah macam biasa. Okay, so we have 2x minus 1 square less than 6x square plus 2. Okay, so first of all expand dulu macam biasa yang ni. Okay, we have x square minus 2x plus 1 that is less than 6x square plus 2. Okay, so expand lagi yang ni, 2x square minus 4x plus 2 less than 6x square plus 2. Okay, so kalau kita rearrange, okay, I'm going to bring everything from the left ni to the right side. So 6 tolak 2 dapat 4x square and then we have plus 4x and then 2 minus 2 which is 0. Okay, so this one akan jadi greater than 0. Okay, so Madam tukar position dia. Tengok carefully. So here if we factorize out, we have 4x and then x plus 1 which is greater than 0. So the two factors, the two values that we have are x equals to 0, x equals to negative 1. Okay, so untuk quadratic step ataupun method yang paling mudah lah kita buat menggunakan graphical method. Okay, this is on the last sign yang kita tengok inequalities ni dia adalah positive, so greater than 0, bentuk dia U lah, U shape. Okay, so masukkan nilai kat sini. This is negative 1, here is 0. Okay, we have negative 1 and 0 here. Oops. Okay, so negative 1 kat sini, 0 here. Then kita nak dia greater than 0. So kalau greater than 0, remember, okay, bahagian atasnya lah greater than 0, bawah ni adalah less than 0. So bahagian greater than 0, kita ada macam ni lah, the left side and the right side. Okay, so that's how jawapan akhir kita akan dapat. Therefore, the solution set is negative infinity to negative 1. Okay, dan dia tak ada equal sign kan. So union with 0 until infinity. Okay, so ni untuk jawab soalan number 4. Okay, quadratic inequality je kita pakai graphical method lah, paling mudah. Okay, so now let's proceed to question number 6. Okay, so dia bagi function fx kat kita. Okay, dan the function of fx is x minus 3 squared. Okay, so dia bagi tahu kalau this quadratic function is restricted to the domain of negative infinity until 3. Okay, what are domain and range for the inverse? Okay, so first of all, kita kena try untuk faham baliklah konsep domain dengan range dan restriction untuk quadratic. Okay, so always remember untuk quadratic inequality, quadratic function, okay, so kalau function adalah x minus 3, dia akan touch pada 3 macam ni. Okay, this is the shape of our graph. Okay, so kita mesti buat restriction, dia mesti separuh lah, okay, at the minimum or maximum point, barulah dia akan jadi one to one function. Okay, baru dia akan jadi inverse. Okay, tengok kat sini dia ada statement tentang inverse. Baru dia akan ada inverse. So, yang dia bagi kat kita sekarang ni adalah daripada negative infinity until 3. Okay, so negative infinity until 3. That is the domain. So, dia ambil yang the left side. Okay, so at x equals to sorry, not negative 3 negative infinity until 3. So at x equals to 3, kita kena tahulah what's the coordinate for the y. Okay, minimum point kat sini apa? So kalau x 3, okay, so terus cari when x equals to 3. So our f of 3, which is we want to find the value of our y, is 3 minus 3 squared, which is equals to 0. So x equals to 3, y equals to 0. So coordinate dia adalah 3, 0. So kalau minimum point kita adalah coordinate 3, 0. Okay, if this is the domain for our f, which is negative infinity until 3, range kita untuk f, kita ambil nilai on the minimum value. So our range should be 0 until positive infinity. Okay, so 0 termasuk 0 until positive infinity. So for the inverse, okay, let's just write it like this. Domain for the inverse and range for the inverse. We'll take the opposite. So domain akan jadi 0 infinity and the range will take negative infinity until 3. Okay, so let's check which is the final answer. Okay, domain negative infinity, infinity salah. Negative infinity, infinity salah. Okay, so domain is 0 until infinity. Okay, that works. Okay, dua-dua ni betul untuk domain. Range untuk f inverse is negative infinity until 3. So careful, this one is negative 3. So the final answer here is 6. Okay, so that should be our final answer. Okay, so that is the first part. Okay, yang mana nak bincang. Okay, we proceed to the next video after this. Right?